Yo, 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 welcome back. Episode 1, part 2. Now, this one is the best yet. Put your seatbelts on. And this one, we giving you the 2 keys to success: discipline and sacrifice. And I got my guy Ricardo here, no other. I'm going to let him introduce himself and we going to get it going.
Yeah, it's your boy Ricardo, man. Serial entrepreneur, sitting here with my boy Waheem. We about to get it going and dive in a little deeper into that mindset of things and let you know the sacrifices that it takes to get some of these things accomplished as well when you're running a business or just even doing the simple things in life. So without further ado, bro, what you got for us?
Man, listen, we going to jump straight into, this is my topic, this our topic when we on the phone, man. We doing a lot of talking about this, basically with us understanding where we came from. And I do think a lot of times people will see where we at and it look like not understanding where we came from and what it took a lot of to get here. Mm-hmm. And 2 of those things is what we're going to talk about today, and that's discipline and sacrifice. And reason why we use discipline, and I want to get you on the point of discipline first. With great discipline comes great sacrifice. So you have to understand how discipline is work. Discipline is basically changing. How I look at it is switching bad habits with good habits. And once you be able to do things for a certain period of time, it becomes habit. So discipline is not nothing that lasts forever. Mm-hmm. It's just changing from something that we creatures of habit, changing from something that we normally do that we know might not be right for us to do to get to a certain level that we on. And then we go into discipline mode. Mm-hmm. And then we use the second one that we're going to go over is what comes great sacrifice, because we know, I think we know as people the things that keep us from reaching our goals. And you know what I mean? But reason why I learned that sacrifice come with through great discipline comes great sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Is because some things we just don't want to let go. Right. That's the reality of it. I don't think that it's, like some force of nature that's keeping us from doing something. I think us as a culture, especially, I think that discipline is one of the hardest things for us to do. But on the flip side, I do understand, but the goal is not to stay there. And when I say understand it is, I mean it is. We are a product of our environment. It was some discipline things that you had to discipline and some things that you had to sacrifice. And I want to give an example for myself. Let's just say, for example, when I was, I don't want to just say too much of that, but like when I was doing things the wrong way, you know what I mean? And my mindset at that point it was normal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Is because I don't think it was because I didn't know no better. I think I just didn't want to let go of the things. And that's why I learned why discipline is just so hard, because of the sacrifice. And the sacrifice can mean relationships. True. You know what I mean? And I think that's what make it hard for somebody, like, especially when you got a habit, mm-hmm. whether if that's when somebody drink or if something, like, for example, let's say somebody that's a drinker. Mm-hmm. You know, if your downfall drinking, mm-hmm. and you know drinking, you always end up in jail or a DWI, somewhere you ain't got no business is, then those the things where we mean like discipline, changing those habits into good habits. You know mm-hmm. what I mean? And even for myself, I don't go to jail no more. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But I've been to jail before in the past, mm-hmm. a few times, because, you know what I mean, not discipline in certain areas, and with lack of discipline cause lack of mindset. You know what I mean? And it's just conversation over presentation. So I just want to get your insight, you know what I mean, as far as you, Ricardo. Like, let's do it this way. What was the hardest things from you to discipline? First, give where you come from, without going into deep detail or, you know what I mean, a lot of other things. But just like, what was the hardest things for you to discipline in order for you to be sitting here right now mm-hmm. at this table that if you wouldn't have changed, you wouldn't be here?
I would say the hardest thing for me was getting away from people that wasn't on the same path as me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of are who you are. You surround yourself with. So, and I had to also understand, when you're talking about discipline, it goes deep. Mm-hmm. So it goes deep as you controlling your flesh. Your flesh want to do something, but you got to have the strong enough mindset and the strong enough mind, period, to deny the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Because you won't, your body might tell you that you're tired, but then you know the discipline in you which creates the sacrifice. Like, nah, we ain't tired. We got to be up to 2:00 in the morning tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, it's just really shutting down the flesh and being in control so you can stay on the spiritual level with everything that you got going on, you know? So, but me, growing up, like I used to think a paint job, candy paint job.
Yeah.
Beating down the block subwoofers.
Knocking pictures off your wall.
Disturbing the neighbors.
You
know what I'm saying? 24-inch rim that keep going when you start, all that type of stuff. I used to think that was success because that's all I seen on TV. Right now, I don't even watch a lot of TV. But that's what I used to see. I used to see the people older than me that was doing this. I want to be like them when I grow up and stuff like that. So, but the greatest sacrifice, and I say this on the mic for me, is me having to leave my daughter behind in the town that she's in now so I can move forward and create what I've created for them now so they don't have to suffer. And now they got a head start in life that I didn't have. You know, so that's what it was for me, bro. And then a lot of guys around me was catching murder charges. I knew I didn't want
Right.
I don't want to be around that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't raised like that. So, you know, like my mom did a great job at training me up in the way I should go so I won't depart. You know, I departed while I was in the streets and doing whatever I want to do. But now I've got back on path.
It never left
mama trained me up.
You made your decisions, but it never. She did her thing, but you made decisions, but you never departed because you still found your way back. Because like you saying, because what mama said, so it always was in you. And I do think I like what you said far as the discipline and about leaving your daughter behind, and then, you know, just that separation. And that's why I say the two keys is discipline and sacrifice, because with great discipline come great sacrifice. And I don't believe people can actually reach the success without sacrifice, because I think it's the sacrifice and the discipline that actually grow to create some mindset, disciplining yourself from different things, which creates habit, which create the mindset to be different. And that's what allows you to grow. Coming from you know, when we come from hoods or ghettos, whatever people want to call it, I think for me, it was more of the hardest part was getting people to understand the importance of discipline when you trying to walk into your purpose. And it allows you to it allowed me to kind of fall back and because it was knowing I need the discipline, but knowing that the environment of the people I was around wasn't the same understanding of the importance of discipline. So since I was in my same environment, you know what I mean, the lack of support, I think it took it longer for me because it was like I always fought it, because it was more like, I can't go make a phone call and tell my partner about this right here. I'm in network marketing. Look, we finna go over here and do this. Man, look, man, these folks up here, you know, they must be looking at, man, you in front of all them old. You know what I mean? So it's like it wasn't really no fire in me to at that time. I think what really just made me you know what I mean, is after, like I say, it was like understanding the importance of sacrifice. Like, meaning is, man, without great sacrifice, think about it. We spiritual, like the scripture say, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the scripture keep us in alignment with knowing through great discipline comes great sacrifice. Because it brings back to the scripture, to much is given, much is required. And then that's how I know why, like when we sit here, you know, thousands are called, but few are chosen. And not trying to go into no preach mode. I think it's like podcasts is like this, and hearing you say what you say is vital to our culture and community, due to the fact is the pandemic of, you know what I mean, struggle, you know, poverty, and understanding that poverty is a mindset. When you decide to discipline yourself, you decide to you know what I mean, to do something different. And in order to do something different, it's important. Like me, I think what motivate with me, just being connected with people like you. Like I'll be on the phone with you and you will tell me something I ain't know nothing about. And it's just that motivation that creates that energy that
Mm-hmm.
fuels to the next day to keep accomplishing goals
Man,
based
for
off the
real.
people that you're around. So let me ask you this. So why do, and it's just for the education, entertainment purposes only, you know, this just trying to get an understanding. Why do you think in the community where we come from now, why is this, do you think of we just deal with a culture of people that just don't want discipline, don't want sacrifice, or like what is the reason why it's just so hard for us to discipline and like, you know, even with seeing people of your success and whatever I got going on, you know, what you think is hard for those?
I would have to say a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding, you know, and people don't even understand a lot of different things because once you surround yourself or you in a certain area, it's easy to become a product of your environment. You know what I'm saying? So if you see your next door neighbor selling dope or whatever they might be doing or whatever else, they done bought the nice vehicle and got the shiny stuff, the diamonds on and stuff like that. Like you looking at it like, okay, that's how he did it. If he did it, I can do it too. Not even knowing that's the wrong way to do
Wrong
it.
way to do it.
You know, so but I think what gets our people stuck the most is fear.
Mm.
You know, fear out of coming out of what circumstance that you are in. And then they do things with their money that makes them comfortable in the position that they're in. So they come in, they gonna spend money. Look, I'm gonna say it, bro.
Say it, man. Game time, no lame time. Say it.
They smoke their blunts, they get comfortable, you know, that makes them comfortable with where they at. And now they getting to the point where they're sacrificing discipline is different because now they're sacrificing their income. They sacrificing what need to go on the rent. They sacrificing what need to go on the mortgage just to keep feeling comfortable in the situation that they're in. But knowing all the time they're like, hey, I want more. Hey, this ain't what's up. You know what I'm saying? But and I ain't against people that do that, but I feel like you need a certain status to be doing that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't afford it, you need to think about what your discipline and your mindset is on. Like, cause you wondering like, man, they got it, or now I'm your cousin, and now you're getting angry at me because I'm making it out and I'm doing it a different way, and you ain't even thought to come just sit down with me and be like, hey, can you explain to me what I need to do or what I can try so I can better myself or better my life? And the first thing I always tell people is you got to pray, because once you pray, then God gonna give me what I need to say to you. You know what I'm saying? So.
You said something so real. I think it just grow when people come from the same predicaments as you or us. It's kind of like me. I think the more I hate than congratulate, but I think it's just in us due to the fact of is do people on knowing where we need to be in life. Meaning like I think when a hater hate, or be mad at whatever success you having and whatever success other people having, I think it's more of inside we always know, especially as men, that we need to be doing better, that we need to be leading. And I think that other people's success reminds some people of what they need to be doing, but due to the lack of information, purposely designed, it triggers the hate. You know what I mean? Because as men, we all know as men that society say a man's supposed to take care of his family, a man's supposed to lead.
Right.
Men that ain't even doing that know that. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times, like you say, it's just so it's easier for people to hate instead of pick up the phone and say, man, it's just a conversation. And I think that's a discipline that the greats, I think the greatest people, this finna sound crazy, man, but I think the most successful, the most pioneers that can be in the future never know, because some of them be haters. Because they know inside of them that they need to be doing it. It's there, but it triggers the wrong response. So since they feel like they ain't gotta do it or you feel me, like holla, you know what I mean, is you need to talk to Ricardo and buy a house. Or you need to talk to Waheem and learn how to do credit or do something so you could get. I think as men, it just trigger a lot of times in those environments. And I think it's purposely designed, because we won't have nothing but still say we don't need nobody. But it ain't about needing somebody. I feel that it's needing that knowledge. So technically you need that knowledge that somebody got, and the case may be. So and we just having a conversation. Far as like what's your go, like when you speaking to where we come from in the hood, like is your goal is, I'm pretty sure you don't feel you can help everybody. What is your motive of your goal is just by me as Ricardo and why I'm providing life insurance and all that stuff? Because I think it's important even still with the discipline, because people just have to understand with great, still everything leads back to understanding. So just in your feel on you, what you think?
I just see a lot of people just fall for anything. You got a lot of bad business people out there, bro. So, and I'm a straightforward person. I don't beat around the bush,
right?
No matter if it's personal or business, you know. So I feel like it's just being straight up with people. But I offer those services because I've seen so many people almost every week, no matter if I knew them or not. Then someone passed away without life insurance. Just because your cousin a teenager don't mean they time ain't tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta always think about that, like from day one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an expense. And most people that's growing up, like that, especially even some people that we know, they ain't got $15,000 saved up in the bank, and not knowing that they could have got something as cheap as $15 a month to create $25,000. Like, but you know, you go to the liquor store, you gonna go buy that bottle. You in the club spending $300 for a section. You know what I'm saying? You going to buy, you in line outside to get the Jordans at the mall. Like all that stupidity. That's what I'm gonna call it, bro.
Call it out. Game time, no lame time.
That's stupidity to me now. You know what I'm saying? And I used to keep up with that type of stuff. And I'm be real, man. I go to Burlington's and I'm satisfied with a $15 outfit.
Man, I got this.
It don't matter.
I can't call the name. They ain't on the contract.
Because I put myself in a position to do both. If I want Gucci, I go get Gucci. If I want, you know, whatever. So, but Gucci ain't making me no money. I'd rather open up the Gucci boutique and sell Gucci to the people that's going. I'm gonna stop right there.
No, I feel you.
You know where I'm coming from.
I know exactly where you're coming from. And I think what you said, that's where the first discipline people need to start at. Understanding your reality, you know what I mean? Instead of trying to keep up with people. I think we keep up with people that, like, if something happened to you in life, they wouldn't even care. You know what I mean? And like you say, speaking on life insurance, I really think that's a discipline that as a culture should be so important, due to the fact is the loss of life that we have. People have people in the streets. I ain't getting on there whether who living wrong or who living right. But it's like
we all feel short.
The failure for real, and the failure to discipline in certain areas is like you writing a bill, you creating a bill for the future. Like literally. So even with that saying is, and not just people who gang banging or people who just in the streets, like it's somebody who rolled down the street and had an accident and was planning on coming back home that night. So when you say stuff like $16 and 20-something to be able to, you know what I mean, make sure that your finances and things stay in order even after the passing of a loved one, it even make me appalled even with myself, like on how things, like we pay attention to the wrong things. Like we don't pay attention. Like we literally put a burden on grandma and mama or the kid, like purposely, knowing that tomorrow ain't promised. So discipline is something as a culture that we in. Because I believe that God don't bless unless you. Because I believe money equals purpose, and I mean purpose. Money equals power. Power equals purpose. And I learned that, and because it's more like when you get money, you get power. Meaning is you could choose to do good with it, and you could choose to do bad with it. We just had rest in peace. You know, it was an artist that got killed. Him and you know what I mean, and even with the Mo3 situation, it involved money. Meaning like money is power. You could do good with it, or you could do evil with it. So I think in order to even be blessed by God, especially in a spiritual state, you definitely got to be disciplined. And you definitely got to make sacrifices because everybody ain't even meant to go with you.
Right.
Some people can be with you, and just because you didn't want to sacrifice that, you want later on sacrifice your whole financial situation, your whole family,
right?
Because you was trying to bring people with you. We say, God, I'm following you, but one thing about God, He'll put in your head on who ain't meant for you, whether you want to accept it or not. You know, it's people that we probably deal with right now that when the phone ring, we know we ain't got no business talking to them. Because we already know they ain't finna call but talk about somebody or talk something negative. But we'll still hold on to these people when it could be a phone call that you needed to be making. It could have been something you seen on the internet. Yeah. But you weren't even able to see it because you might can discipline, but everybody ain't willing to make the sacrifice. I think it's like when you got Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, when somebody say good Kool-Aid, it's the components that make the Kool-Aid. It's the Kool-Aid, it's the sugar, it's the water. You got good Kool-Aid. But if you take out the Kool-Aid and just got the water and the sugar, then it's sugar water.
Yeah.
You take the sugar out with the Kool-Aid and the water and it's sour. It takes each three component to make that Kool-Aid. And I think when it comes to success, it's certain components that we accept, that I discipline here, but we forget about the Bible saying to much is given, much is required. Yeah. Faith without works is dead, meaning is only how for God I feel to test your faith. Is by putting you in a situation where you want to go do this, but you know that this is what you need to do. You know what I mean? But having that faith to believe that if I discipline here, Lord God, I see what you got for me over here. I'm finna put in the works and go over here because I got the faith and I believe.
Right.
So it's just like with this, it's so many ways, but it's like, let me ask you this. And again, what do you think can be done far as the trajectory of generation now? Because we know the important part of discipline and sacrificing is the new generation. They the future, and this where they getting wiped out at an early time. Meaning is people laying in the graveyard right now that could have been the next inventor or something we know nothing about.
Right.
Because he ended it there. Is somebody right now can be a top, it could have been another president that was black before Obama.
Right.
But they might have died early. You know what I mean? So how do you think how do we can try to change the journey? And not speaking as us, like how do people kind of stop the pandemic of the youth of, you know what I mean?
So I feel like you can stop it by, you really have to learn how to effectively starve your distractions.
Ooh, say that again.
You got to starve your distractions.
Starve your distractions.
Because they come in all forms, all ways, all colors. You know what I'm saying? And it goes down to your kids. Like, and I'm that way at home. Like, I might pop on a movie at Netflix. As soon as it pop on, they slapping their wife. Oh, no, my kids can't see that.
No,
you know
real.
what I'm saying? Like, you got to learn. My daughters need to see how a man supposed to treat a woman so she know how she's supposed to feel.
No, for real.
You know, when she get older. So, no, I can't let her see that. And one of the biggest things in our community is that they look up to a lot of influencers and celebrities, you know what I'm saying? So, and then these influencers and celebrities don't take the time to let people know how things are done behind the scenes. Like if I see 50 Cent in his music video doing his thing, nice cars, nice house, Rick Ross, whoever it might be, nice vacations and stuff like that. They ain't took the time. So now you uneducating the community because now they full of desire. They full of desire, and the enemy can take part of that desire because you didn't know how to appropriately go reach that desire.
Man,
you
come
know
on,
what I'm saying?
man.
So it's important at home for us to let our kids and let our family, our wife, it ain't just the kids, because the wife can be missing part of this too.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because she's the weaker vessel anyway, so the enemy gonna start right there. You know, and bring that your way to try to confuse you and get you out of tack with what you supposed to be doing.
Man, hold up. Protect what? She the weak. Say that again.
She's the weaker vessel. So the enemy know he can't get to you first. He gonna use her because he know, you know, most of the time in our household, we know that woman can say one thing and we frustrated like real quick. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna use her to get to you and get you off of your feet and distract you on what you need to be doing. But like I said, it's noticing what's being done. So like even like you hinted on last time in the last podcast on Grade A, shout out to Grade A.
Shout out Grade A Talk.
But like you hit it on, bro, it's knowing, you know, like you knew you dropped that shirt on the floor.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of like, man, don't worry about that shirt, man. I get that up when I get ready to. You always got something to say about this shirt.
Yeah.
You're like, no, let me correct the problem. And see, I seen that this could have been created as a distraction, but your mindset helped you to let y'all still have a good day after that situation.
Man, listen, this is so live and this so real. Like he helping me right now. This is what Game Time, No Lame Time is about. He said when he turned on the TV, if somebody slapped the girl and his daughter is in the room, he turned the TV. Now, I'm big, this Game Time, No Lame Time, so I'm going to be real. I haven't done that all the time. So sometimes some swanging might, but I'll be real quick. I probably ain't. But it told me something where I'm going to do that now. Meaning is I don't want to, because that's why communication and talking is important and everything. So I do want to thank you for that, because I'm always a student. And I took that, and that now that you say it, I might have just couldn't think about it. Tyler Perry, shout out to Tyler. Tyler Perry, there might be some men going on here and there. I be watching sisters and stuff like that. But sometimes my little girl might be on the iPad and stuff in the living room or something. But just by you saying that, it's like, man, you know what? Now it's just show the, you know what I mean? Is that this ain't even in the world. Right. You know what I mean? So, man, definitely thank you for that. That's why, you know what I mean, brotherhood is what you call is important. So
and I would go in like perception. Like perceptions can be so strong, man, even though these kids don't even understand that yet. And then social media. You know, we grew up in an area where we didn't have social media. We was outside stopping traffic because we trying to
come on, man.
You know, we was the kids that was outside. We ride bikes and stuff like that. You don't even see a lot of that right now. So what they glued to, whatever TV. Popping up on that TV, like your child can be watching something educational and just right then and there, an ad pop up that they didn't need to see. Like you need to be that on top of what your kids got going on.
Come on, man.
For real, like I said again, perception is really strong. The way we perceive things is not how they gonna perceive things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's deep.
And then if it's something that you know is wrong, they can look at it like, oh, they doing it. And there's the start of the generational curse. You know what I'm saying? That's the start of it. Not even knowing. You don't even know your child just implemented a generational curse because you done got so busy in business, so busy working overtime or whatever. Man, you really got to pay attention to them babies.
Man, you got my mind over here rolling, because it's like, even when you think of rappers, and when you think of cats rapping the songs and really in the streets toting the pistols, but when you think of the rapper and you see him, he living in $1 million estate, he got security when he move around. Like it ain't even really that timing, but it be put out there like that's crazy, man. And it's like,
see, people gotta understand the timing you need to be on. Understand the timing you say. I'm just throwing it in there, bro.
Yeah.
But the timing you need to be on is no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And then you ain't gotta worry about walking around like that.
Man, he almost made me sing the note, man. I had to catch myself, man. I almost sung it, man. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I think that's important, because it's always some kind of weapon formed against us, because it's not designed. And I tell people that, like, okay, it's going to be hard because maybe it's not designed for you to win, because corporations make more money more off of you losing. But it's also hard to lose and go through struggle. And it's also hard to be successful. So it's like, even a post I saw today on Facebook, somebody wrote, I saw a post, I think it was Jada, just tax software. She said, like, being successful is hard, but also being broke is hard. So it's kind of like picking your heart.
Pick your poison.
You know what I mean? So and what I like about you, you always just you say, you know how I'm going to say it, bro. I'm going to just say it like, and I think that's important for it to be said like that, because I think a lot of times things get sugar-coated and that pacify grown men. That pacify grown people due to a bunch of sugar-coating, that it make it okay for them to be in the position that they in, while some at the same time got a family.
Right.
And I'm not knocking, maybe a person don't know, but we still got to get out of that mindset of excuses. Like we live in a world now that like no excuses, because ain't gonna be no sympathy on you. You know what I mean? Is so like you get up, and I can imagine what you deal with just based off all the paperwork I had to sign dealing with you. So, but you get up and you make it happen. So let me ask you this though. Let's just say somebody young, not even grown, was watching this and be like, man, that sound good. Cardo sound good. Waheem sound good, man. But how does that help me? Let's say if somebody was young and reached out to you, they weren't even old enough to buy a house. 18, ain't just fresh out. Like, is there anything that even from business, something that they can discipline, whether it's the life, and what can somebody be a part of that want to change?
I would say be a part of the youth church choir. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
You need to, because I feel like that's very important. That was very important for me growing up. And I understand, like, my life could be a whole lot different if my mama wasn't making me go to church. You know what I'm saying? So when mama or daddy making you go to church, don't get mad. That's exactly where you need to be, because that's where all good comes from. All good comes from God. So I got to start there, bro.
Go ahead.
But, you know, and just having a little bit more understanding as a child growing up, like, you know, when you say generational curses, it ain't just money. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody could have a parent, they grew up single family home, they mama raised them or whatever else. Like, you can create, and that child could have created generational hate. And just because he didn't understand that daddy still loved him, daddy and mama just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, and that child don't understand that. So I'm telling them now, like, daddy don't hate you. That's that generational hate that created him. So now it's going down a cycle of where they're having kids now and they don't know how to be a father, or that hate made them not want to be a father and stuff like that. So you had to give them understanding. Like, to me, man, I talk to my child about, my oldest child, about anything. I'm wide open, even finances. I'm wide open,
for real.
And let her know, like, hey, you can come to me. We can talk about this, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I never want her to grow up lacking understanding about anything.
No,
you know
for real.
So I would say, young people, have those conversations with your parents. What you scared to talk about, what you think they're going to get mad about, what you think they're going to pull the belt out and
because it might come out.
Talk to them about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's worse when we had to go find out from somebody else. And now that belt might come out for real.
Man. Man, that's lovely. Man, you helping me, man. That's what Game Time, No Lame Time is all about, man. You know what I mean? We ain't going to sugarcoat it. I'm always a student, man. And these two topics, like I say, the discipline and the sacrifice, I think is so important that I like parents need to teach the importance of it to the kids. Because again, peer pressure is it's hard for a kid to discipline with peer pressure and stuff nowadays. When you only got that same group of friends that you can hang with, but based off the environment that you in. That's why mentorship, I'm starting to think like, because I grew up, when I was bad, I actually, and shout out his name, Bobby Lindsay. Shout out Bobby Lindsay. When I was in Milwaukee, this when I was younger, you know, because I'm like you. I came from I was in Milwaukee, then came real young, you know what I mean? So I remember having a mentor, and even though I was being still rough, I looked forward to connecting with my mentor, because I knew I was gonna go to some stuff I ain't never seen before. I horse riding, and it was making an old bad kid like me just be like, man, it made me understand, even to this day, as being grown and being able to go and see things that I'm not used to. I even tell my girl, I be like, man, I don't even use this word much, but man, it's beautiful. Like when you and your girl, y'all went to Spain, you and your wife. Like, I remember looking at them videos back to back. Like, I'm like, is this AI? You know what I mean? I'm literally like, is this real? And then it's like, from there on, it's like, I just started thinking, I said, we got to go overseas. Like, that was beautiful. And she was like, you said what? I was like, yeah, you don't like it? She said, I ain't saying that. You said beautiful. I said, man, okay, so I guess you got to actually see beauty. Not that you ain't beautiful.
It's a different type of beautiful. You know, we used to seeing, like, Times Square, New York, beautiful.
Right,
you know
right.
So you got to really admire history and everything when you considering, other architecture and other kind of countries, what their beauty is. We know what our beauty look like, but let's go explore what their beauty looks like.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So even just bringing back up that discipline, bro. I remember being in elementary school at Carver Magnet. If you got in trouble, we had a room called the STP room.
STP, what's that?
STP stood for Stop, Think, and Plan. You know what I'm saying? That. And I still keep that in my life to this day because I was in that room. And they put you in this room and they give you some curriculum based on you having to stop, think, and plan. So early it's training your mind, even in regular life and even in business, stop, think, and plan. Because if you don't stop, think, and plan, there's too much room for you to leave things to go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I stopped thinking before whatever got me in that room, if I would have stopped and thought about it and planned, I would have still been in my homeroom with everybody, with the rest of the kids in that recess. You know what I'm saying?
Man. I think that was like a drum roll type of one. Stop, think, and plan. Like, it just make me think back on times where I put myself in situations that I never would have been in if I would have followed the stop, think, and plan. I think what we all need to do is what we need to write down every day that we wake up. Before we make any decisions, we need to stop, think, and plan. I'm glad that you said that, man. I think you need to bring that back, man. Matter of fact, you need to get some merch for that. Call the school now, make sure that. Yeah, but man.
Yeah, that's it, bro. You stop thinking, plan, man, and you can create effective solutions for whatever you got going on in your life. So even if somebody made you mad, like if you really quit, just think about it. Stop thinking, plan. That you could have planned to hit them back in the face, shoot them, whatever you had on your mind, but you stopped that on plan and just made you walk away. You ain't gotta feel like you the loser or weak or just because you walked away from something that could have criticized your life or put you in a bad situation, took you away from your family, took you away from your good paying job, good paying business, all that type of stuff, like for real. And it don't take long. It ain't gotta be 30 minutes to stop thinking, plan. Like for real, I can stop thinking, plan in 10 seconds or less. You know what I'm saying? So
you need to start a movement with that. And when I went to prison, man, and I lay in that bunk and put them hands behind my head. That's all I thought about it. Didn't even know I was thinking like, man, if I would have stopped and just thought about it and planned.
But think about, not to interrupt you, bro. No, think about the institution. What does that make you, for the right person, what is that making you do? They've made you sit down, stop, think, and plan for when you get up out of here, if you get up out of here. That's why
they need that in a halfway house, man.
That's why you see a lot of incarcerated people, they get out and be successful.
Yeah, like me. I ain't die less successful. But listen, I'm saying, now, trust me, I will stop, think, and plan. Man, listen, we ain't gonna keep y'all and everything is forever, man. This was so awesome that we had to chop this down in two. This episode 1, this part 2. Man, listen, moving forward, y'all will be seeing a lot more Ricardo. If you want to make sure that you subscribe to the video, if you got any questions for Ricardo, his information will be linked in the comments. Also, listen, if you're thinking about that Walmart and you shop at Walmart, I know I'm finna be hitting him up about that Walmart. So at least you need to be hitting him up with that for that Walmart. But listen, man, it was great. It was blessed. Look to see y'all again. Remember, man, game time, no lame time.
Let's go.